In this video, we're looking at the adverbial of manner. The adverbial of manner is a word that indicates the state of the doer or object of the verb at the time that the action is taking place in a sentence. An adverbial of manner answers the question about how the doer, for example, is undertaking the action. In this lesson, we're going to focus on the doer of the verb and not the object of the verb. You've learned the ism fa'il pattern of the root, and this is the pattern we will use to talk about the doer's state at the same time as the action of the verb. And we're going to call this al-hal. So if you remember the cases al-marfu' and al-mansub, al-marfu' is our base case. That is the default case. And its major sign is the dhamma. Now notice here we have qasidun as indefinite. And qasid is a person who intends to do something. Now qasidan is the mansub. Notice the fatha tanween. It's indefinite as well. Qasidan has exactly the same meaning as qasidun. However, the fatha tanween indicates the function of qasid in the sentence. And here's an example. ترك ابن بطوطة بلدته طنجة قاصدا الحج. So you see here, Ibn Battuta left his town of Tanja intending Hajj. So you see, qasidan is telling us about what Ibn Battuta was doing while he left Tanja. So here we're talking about the hal, or the state of the doer, Ibn Battuta, while the action is taking place, i.e. taraka, his leaving. Let's look at some more examples. Here we have a sentence, دخلت جدتي البيت حاملة الحلويات التي حضرتها. So here, دخلت is our verb. We have جدتي is the doer of the verb, my grandmother. My grandmother entered the house. دخلت البيت حاملة. And حاملة is our حال. It is in the mansub case and indefinite. And hamil is someone who carries something. So here we have jaddati, my grandmother, is carrying. دخلت جدتي البيت حاملة الحلويات التي حضرتها. My grandmother entered the house carrying the sweets which she had prepared. So that carrying is taking place at the same time as the entering and indicates the state of the grandmother while she's entering. Here we have another example, but in the masculine, we have safara is our verb. He traveled. Akhi is my brother and is the doer of the verb. Safara akhi, my brother traveled. إلى أستراليا, to Australia. راغبا في الاستقرار هناك. And so راغبا is our hal. It is an ism fa'il in its pattern, and it is mansub indefinite because it indicates here the action that is happening or the state of the doer, the akhi, while the traveling is taking place. So the translation here is, my brother traveled to Australia seeking to settle there. Here's another example of al-hal. أرسلنا لهم الدعوة متأمنين أن يحضروا. So here أرسلنا is our verb, we sent, and here instead of having an actual noun, we have a pronoun as the doer. أرسلنا, we sent to them الدعوة, the invitation. متأمنين, and so here, if you notice, this is also an ism fa'il, but it's an ism fa'il of form 5. So this is tamanna يتمني, and it means to hope for. Notice here also that instead of having the fatha tanween, we have a ya as the sign of the mansub case, because the ya in the plural, in the masculine plural, or the sound masculine plural, is going to indicate a minor sign of the mansub case. And so we still have the same pattern occurring. We sent them the invitation hoping they would attend. So here, muta'amminina is a hal, but it has to agree with the pronoun we, which is plural. So that's why we have muta'amminina. أرسلنا لهم الدعوة متأمنين أن يحضروا. We sent them the invitation hoping they would attend. So here are some rules to remember. The adverbial of manner answers the question about how the doer is acting at the same time as the action of the main verb. We call the adverbial of manner in Arabic al-hal. The case of al-hal is the mansub case with a fatha tanween, or as we saw in the final example, it could be a ya, which is the minor sign of the mansub case. And then when the hal is modifying the doer of the verb, we will use the active participle, which is ismul fa'il. Finally, the ism fa'il should be indefinite. مع السلامة.